If you're a basketball city who wants to woo LeBron James, there are a number of ways you can do it. 1, dangle cash in front of him, like lots of 5s and 10s. 2, name your arena LeBron James House of Worship. Or 3, buy 3 billboards just outside of Cleveland. That's what you're looking at right here. A 76ers fan with mucho dinero bought these 3. The billboards read, "Complete the process," then hashtag Philly wants LeBron, and then that one, a sign with the potential starting lineup pictured on the court.
Not enough spacing there for LeBron. You have some guys out on the three-point line.
Well, they got Ben Simmons, so you know.
Nick, is Philly a legit option for LeBron minus the billboards?
I think it might be the best option for LeBron. I'm a strong believer that LeBron James will only re-sign in Cleveland if they win the championship. And
not even if they get close.
I do. Maybe if they go 7 games, he would sign a 1-year deal. I've been led to believe the relationship with Dan Gilbert and the trust factor with Dan Gilbert is as bad as it's ever been. Now, we've never seen the best player on a championship winner leave to go to another team. Now, we've seen Jordan walk away, obviously. We've seen guys retire. But we've never seen a guy win a championship, be the best guy, and then say, I'm going somewhere else. So if they win the title, he'll stay. But then we are running out of viable options for LeBron. San Antonio's interesting because of Pop, but we don't know Kawhi's status there. And LeBron is going into year 16. He understandably is, I don't want to say worried about, but part of the focus is post-playing career. And San Antonio is not a glamorous market for any of that stuff. The Lakers do not seem close to contending to me. To me, it's Philly and Houston. And so the question that LeBron will ask himself, I would imagine, is this. What do I trust more, Joel Embiid's health or Chris Paul's age? Like, that to me is the question. Like, because Houston is obviously far better than Philly. But Chris Paul is in year 13. He's had a checkered injury history already, and the history, NBA history, of small guards excelling past year 14, 15, it's really John Stockton, and that's it. So there's that, and then there's Embiid, who's played almost the same number of minutes in his career as LeBron's played this year. So that's a big question mark as well. I like the upside of Philly. I like the long-term future of Philly, but that's assuming a big assumption, which is Joel Embiid's health.
Look, Philly certainly has to be in strong consideration. I'm of the impression that, or the opinion, that if LeBron and the Cavs get to the finals and play the Warriors tough, competitively, a tough 6-game or 7-game series, to the point where we say, oh, they're right there. Like, they got a shot at beating them next year or something. Then it might not be a bad choice just to stay. And maybe only stay for 1 year, to your point, because if you stay 1 more year, I think the free agent landscape is much better in 2019. And here's a few reasons why. Number 1, you'll know more about the Lakers. You brought up the Lakers. You'll know more about Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, how good these guys really are. And if Paul George decides to stay in Oklahoma City for 1 year, then they get to the second round again and lose. He may be ready to go with you to L.A. if he's not already this summer. Houston, you'll know more about Chris Paul's health.
But there's also a free agency class. Kawhi's a free agent a year after this. Clay's a free agent year after this. There's more viable free agents.
Well, and I think Philly, see, you mentioned Joel Embiid, and that's a huge question mark.
Huge.
To go to Philadelphia next year and Joel Embiid, you never know with his health. I would love to see him again next season. If he plays essentially a full year this year, then does the same next year and playing back-to-backs, then LeBron could confidently say, okay, the big guy can stay healthy, and then you got a heck of a team if you put LeBron in there. And LeBron and Simmons would work well together because Simmons, even though he's a true point guard, and I'd rather have him handling the ball, I think there are times when Simmons gets off the ball and goes in the post.
Oh, he's a great player.
LeBron obviously can play off the ball. So, yeah, they could work well together.
They're also like new BFFs, LeBron and Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons
LeBron's a mentor to him.
Just real quickly, what do you factor in as the most important thing he's going to deal with, LeBron? Like, what's the most important thing to him?
Winning championships. Winning championships.
So he wants to go somewhere where they can contend in the next 1 to 3 years.
And I'd say past that. I really believe LeBron wants to play an NBA game with his son. And so I think LeBron's going to play 6 seasons past this one. So I think it's, can you win titles in the next 6 years? I think that's the math.
Then he should just go to Golden State.
No.
Go win titles.
You're not serious.
Coming
My
up,
man Isaiah Thomas.
Speaking of Ben Simmons, is Simmons already a lock for Rookie of the Year? It's next on First Things First.
Anyone, and I don't know if you agree with this, but anyone saying Donovan Mitchell and who votes for Donovan Mitchell, I'm not mad at you. I will not be upset because he is playing phenomenally, reminding a lot of people of a Dwayne Wade, and by himself. Now, I don't want to say by himself because you got Rudy Gobert. You got some good players there in Utah and a good coach. But he's almost got them in the playoffs in the West, and they're certainly in the hunt. 111 straight. However, it is Rookie of the Year. And Ben Simmons, we've already started judging Ben Simmons by a high standard because people, have said, well, he went in a slump the last couple months. No, he's played well the entire season. He's been 16, 17 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 50% shooting. I actually want him to shoot more. Now, everybody says he can't shoot, and he can't. Can't shoot a jumper, but he can score. There's a difference. Lonzo can't shoot, but isn't really a scorer. Ben Simmons can score. He's the closest thing I've ever seen, including Penny Hardaway, to Magic Johnson, because Magic didn't have a jump shot. He had a set shot, but he could score. And Ben Simmons has never dipped below like 52% shooting because he can score.
Like, people are like, the guy can't shoot, and he can't shoot long range, but he's shooting,
or even mid-range.
But it's fine. But he's shooting 53% from the field. I echo all these points. And I understand Utah's on a nice winning streak. Or they were until they lost to the Rockets. I get that. However, how about this? On court, off court. Philly, with Simmons on court, outscores their opponents by 5 points per 100 possessions. With him off the court, they get outscored by 3 points per 100 possessions. Why is Philly the 7th seed? Why does Philly have 32 wins? 2 guys, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. The reason that people, I think, like the Donovan Mitchell story, even though, at least to me, he's been at least the slightly inferior player. My friend Chris Carter, who is a Donovan Mitchell advocate, I believe Jenna's a Donovan Mitchell advocate, is because he was drafted this year. People think Ben Simmons, it's a little unfair that he got a red shirt year. I think that plays against him because he was drafted 2 years ago.
No, not necessarily. Donovan Mitchell's averaging 19 points a game, leads all rookies.
Yep.
He's also a better shooter than Ben Simmons, a better scorer than Ben Simmons. He's the best player on his team. Ben Simmons shares that with someone else. When you guard against Utah, when you game plan against Utah, you're game planning against Donovan Mitchell. That's not necessarily always the case with Philadelphia.
Yeah, there's reasons to vote for Mitchell, but you mentioned he's a better scorer, but everything else Simmons is better at. Simmons is playing, Mitchell's more athletic, but Simmons is playing really good defense. He's obviously the better passer, the better rebounder. We mentioned his efficiency. And, look, he's leading a team into the playoffs. Now, like you said, he's got Embiid. They are in the East. But still, he's been better for the entirety of the season.
And I want to make this point clear because Jenna makes excellent and very fair points. I am not anti-Donovan Mitchell. Right. Like, I think Donovan Mitchell's great. I think he is, if you redid the draft right now, Donovan Mitchell go number 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, we haven't seen the number 1 pick, Markelle Fultz, and Donovan Mitchell now looks better than Lonzo Ball. It's not anti-Donovan Mitchell. I just think Ben Simmons is a special player that's already a fringe all-star guy.
2 other things.
He could easily be an all-star.
Also averaging more fourth-quarter points, and he's got 2 first names. And I think that's something that neither of you factored in when discussing Rookie of the Year.
So does this guy. You like him? He's got 2 first names.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.